we're going to start off right now with Dawn. Are there any good real-time strategy games for Linux? I have tried a few and ended up running my favorites from DOS and Windows in DOSBox and Wine. Well, Dawn, as it so happens, heck yeah, there are. Matt, would you mind if I take this momentarily?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna give it to you because I have a clue.
This is one of the few things, one of the few times I actually prepare for a question. So there's a few different options here. You can go the open source route, and there are many, many open source real-time strategy games for Linux, and most of them are awful. Terrible, the worst games in the world, but there are exceptions that are truly awesome. If you like Command and Conquer Red Alert, the old famous Command and Conquer Red Alert from the early 90s, one of the greatest real-time strategy games, simple and everything, but OpenRA, Open Red Alert is fantastic. Highly recommended, nice and free, runs on Linux. It's great. I could not recommend it more. In fact, I'd forgotten about this game, and then my buddy, the Linux Gamer, reminded me of how rad it was a couple months back. Truly awesome. If you're okay with not open source or free stuff, there's actually a metric ton of real-time strategy games up on Steam for Linux. Tons of them. Dota 2, tons and tons of other ones. Company of Heroes. There's a huge amount of them. Some indie, some AAA titles, but actually Linux has kind of become a pretty rad gaming platform nowadays, if you're willing to install Steam. As long as you can get over that emotional, moral, ethical hurdle, all of a sudden Linux becomes a pretty fantastic gaming platform. And there literally are tons and tons of great real-time strategy games up on Steam. Just go and check it out. It just, select games from the Steam menu, select Steam OS and Linux, and then you can search and sort by your RTS titles. And there's a ton on there. Tons.
I would add one more thing, GOG.com. I would say that you can actually avoid some of the DRM issues. You're still closed source, but you can avoid some of the DRM stuff. You just end up with a nice folder that you just click a thing and there's your game. It's easy.
I guess I was thinking, because most of the stuff on GOG for that regards are like Windows games that run under Wine or DOS. And
they've got a lot of, they've got some
good Linux titles too.
Not a ton.
Not a ton. Anyway, but yes, Matt's totally right. GOG.com is rad. And honestly, what's wrong with powering up the DOS box for the DOS game and every now and then? I literally do that regularly. My son has been having the hardest time of falling asleep the last couple of nights.
Oh, no.
Well, we had this little cold that came in from his class at school, and so he took naps during the day, and then he slept too long, and then it just was hard to fall asleep. So I would just be laying in a chair or a bed or on the floor next to him just while he was in bed trying to fall asleep, and I was just like, well, the heck with it. So I've been loading up some of the old things like Master of Magic is what I've been getting back into from the 90s.
Nice.
It's a turn-based strategy game, runs in DOS, is awesome. Loading that up with DOSBox and been having a great time with it. So that's not that bad. I mean, it might as well be native. It runs so good. Anyway, yes. So check out Steam for some of that stuff, GOG.com, or just OpenRA. OpenRA is absolutely fantastic as long as you're willing to go a little more retro, which I think you are. This clip of the Lunduke Show is brought to you in part by those amazing nerds over at Pogo Linux. Huge servers, little servers, medium servers, storage servers, compute servers. Find out more at pogolinux.com. And if you need more, head on over to patreon.com/Brian Lunduke for the full-length version of today's show.